Lately, I've been seeing a lot of news suggesting that Ilia Topuria is avoiding Arman Tsarukyan. As a UFC observer, I feel the need to offer an honest and objective response. I want to clarify this assumption. Before we dive into the main topic, we at Fighter Mentality provide content related to combat sports that you might find interesting. Please continue supporting our channel. Thank you.
Perfect.
Now, regarding the dispute with Arman Tsarukyan, Topuria has openly stated that he would never give Arman a title shot. In my opinion, that statement could be considered one of the first moral losses in Ilia's career. Personally, I disagree with Topuria's stance. Ultimately, he won't be able to avoid a fight against Arman, whether it's in his next bout, his retirement fight, or whenever the time comes. When Arman responded on social media by saying the title could be vacated, or that he would take it himself, I actually appreciated his courage. That statement demonstrated dominance and self-belief. Personally, I've been a fan of Arman for a long time. I respect his background and the way he carries himself as an athlete. Arman grew up in a relatively privileged environment, but he chose to fight not out of necessity, but out of pure love for the sport. He even offered to put up $1 million or one of his personal cars just to get a shot at the title. That speaks volumes about his determination. A fight between Ilia and Arman would be the toughest matchup of Ilia's career, even though he dominated Max Holloway over 3 rounds at a time when many believed Max was in top form. That doesn't mean he can avoid the next challenge, which is Tsarukyan. Some people claim that Topuria is dodging Arman, but let's be realistic. In such a competitive lightweight division, it's difficult for a champion to consistently avoid elite contenders. I also want to highlight the reason Arman didn't fight at UFC 311. According to Dana White at the UFC 317 post-fight press conference, Arman suffered a back injury and also failed to make weight. In my view, missing weight is a serious issue if you're given the opportunity to fight for the title, but can't fulfill one of the sport's most basic requirements. Then I think it's reasonable for Ilia to be reluctant about granting him a shot. Weight management is an integral part of training camp of an athlete's discipline, and it reflects their professionalism. Even Joe Rogan once said that for some fighters, the weight cut is tougher than the fight itself. Can this situation be excused if the weight miss was truly due to injury? Absolutely. But if it wasn't, I can understand Topuria's decision to withhold the opportunity. I even question why Charles Oliveira got a title shot when moving up to lightweight instead of Arman. If Charles earned it by defeating Michael Chandler, then why not Paddy Pimblett, who won in more dominant fashion? If that standard applies, then Arman should be eligible too. Still, the core issue remains. Arman missed weight. That is a valid reason to delay or deny a title shot. If I had to make a prediction, I personally think the UFC might set up a 3-way contention between Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, and Paddy Pimblett. If one of them gets the title shot, the other 2 might face each other. And that seems fair. I've also heard reports that the UFC is considering Gaethje vs Pimblett as the co-main event of UFC 319, with Aaron Pico vs Lerone Murphy as the featured bout. Gaethje absolutely deserves a title shot, especially after his win over Rafael Fiziev. However, if the criteria is who's most ready right now, I still see Arman as the #1 contender as long as he makes weight. His failure to do so previously has hurt his credibility. So is Ilia Topuria really avoiding Arman Tsarukyan? In my opinion, no. But if Arman's absence was truly due to missing weight, then Ilia has every right to deny him. On the other hand, if the real reason was an injury, I sincerely hope the UFC arranges this fight soon. In the end, the decision lies with UFC President Dana White. But if Arman wants another chance, he needs to prove himself, both by making weight and by earning a dominant win over another top contender. What do you think? Let's discuss it in the comments section.